That's not a good camera angle. Hey everyone, give me a second. There we go. That's better. All right, so we have some exciting news today. This will be my last live stream on Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock because next week on the 4th of July, we are moving back to South River Gym in Stewart's Draft. Yay! That is what this class was. When the gym closed, we went online, and if you are not part of that class yet, if you've never been to the gym, you are welcome. It is not for members only. If you are a member, it's free. If you are not a member, it costs $5. So come a few minutes before 9 to get checked in, fill out your waiver, get set up. We will be social distancing. Mats have to be 6 feet apart at least. And we're going to clear the floor so that we have plenty of space to spread out, be safe, and enjoy some yoga together. So I'm really excited about seeing you all in person next week on the 4th of July. I'll be planning a freedom flow that will bring about feelings of freedom and gratitude while we practice together next week. So, hey, maybe you want to wear red, white, and blue. I don't know. I'm excited. I hope you are too. And if you have any questions, if you've never been to the gym or you have any questions about how it's going to work, send me a message after this practice this morning and I'll be happy to answer your questions. You can also call the gym directly, South River Rehabilitation and Performance in Stewart's Draft. Any of us will be able to help you and answer your questions on the reopening of yoga at the gym. Yay! So today we're doing a headache sequence again because I have a headache. It's not the one I planned for today. I planned a different one, but we'll save that for another Saturday. I woke up this morning with a terrible headache, and there's no better way to relieving that pressure in your head than from doing yoga. So I just quickly wrote up a sequence that will hopefully help my head, and maybe if you have a headache, it would be great for you too. And if you don't, you can learn some of these poses that will help you when you do have a headache. I suffer with them fairly regularly, and so does Megan. So we're used to this, but it's a good thing. So just before we begin, opening the shoulder blades, pulling those shoulder blades apart, and doing inversions really seem to help with headaches, okay? So you're opening up the space between your shoulders and letting the blood flow to your brain, getting fresh blood supply to your head. Those are two main things that really help with headaches. So if you can't remember the whole sequence or even specific poses, if you can remember those two things, you can put yourself into poses even if you don't know what they're called, that do that pull the shoulder blades apart in the back and then invert your head. So let's begin. We're going to start on our back today. So we'll lie down. Oh, and Megan's here. She's been working at Chick-fil-A the last few weeks, but she has done the recordings and she's happy to join us today. And she'll be at the gym with me next week as well. Okay, so let's lie down. Getting comfortable on your mat. Taking some deep breaths. Filling all 3 chambers of your lungs. Thinking about why you came today. And setting your intention for the next hour that we have together. What is your action step going to be? Not your goal. Just what are you going to do in this moment? Do you intend to be more peaceful for the next hour? Do you intend to work harder in the next hour? Do you intend to take a break from outside of your room for the next hour? Whatever it is, get that in your mind. Get everything else outside of the mat. If nature has made you a giver, your hands are born open, and so is your heart. And though there may be times when your hands are empty, your heart is always full, and you can give out of that. Over the next hour, let's fill ourselves up and fill each other up so that we can go out this weekend and give to others. And opening your eyes, bringing your knees to your chest. We'll begin with leg darts. You can pull your shoulders and your head up if that feels good. One leg comes out, the other stays in, and then switch. And switch, and switch. Remembering to breathe. We don't hold our breath when we do these exercises. We often find that we do hold our breath, but we're not supposed to. I feel like my lights just went out. I'll check those in a minute. One more each way. And then hug your knees. Place your feet down on the mat in front of you. Hands at your sides, and we're going to go into bridge flow. So pressing your hips up with an inhale and down with an exhale. Continuing up with an inhale, down with an exhale. Moving slowly, deliberately, with purpose. Feeling your breath coordinate with your movement. We'll do two more. And then hug those knees again. Maybe give a little rock on your back. Now we're going to come up for bicycles. So lifting those shoulder blades in that head, placing your hands behind your head if that feels good, and then alternating opposite elbow to opposite knee, and switch, and switch. Being mindful not to tug on your neck. Your hands are very loose if they're even putting any pressure on your neck. Mine are not even touching my neck or my head because of my headset here. But if your hands are touching your head or neck, you really don't want to be tugging. Remembering to breathe. One more each way. And hug those knees again. And then place the feet down again. We'll come through bridge flow again. Hands are at the sides. Inhaling, pressing the hips up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. One more. Good. Now we're going to roll over. Come on up into a table. Wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And we're going to come into cat and cow. So, inhaling, lifting the chest. Exhaling, rounding the back. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, rounding. Continuing with your own breath. Feeling your spine, stretching and moving. When you come into cat, really press your chin towards your chest to get that nice full stretch from your tailbone all the way up to your head. Two more each way. And then we'll meet at neutral spine. From here, we'll come into spinal balance. So we'll raise up the right arm and the left foot, keeping that core engaged. And then switch left arm, right foot. And continuing, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Working with your own breath, pressing that belly button towards the spine, trying to only move those two limbs and not any other part of your body. One more each way. And sinking back into child's pose. Maybe stretching those arms way out in front of you with thumbs up to separate those shoulder blades. So many variations on child's pose for so many different reasons. I love it. And from here, we'll pull forward into a kneeling plank. And we'll lower for crocodile. Drop the belly, lift the chest for baby cobra, and press back for child's pose again. Again, inhaling forward, exhaling lower, inhaling lift, and exhaling child's. Pulling forward, lowering, lifting the chest, and child's pose. Pulling forward, lowering, lifting the chest, and pressing back. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhaling forward, Exhaling, lowering. Inhaling, lifting the chest. Exhaling, child's pose. And one more time. Pulling forward for plank. Lowering, crocodile. Dropping the belly and lifting the chest. Baby cobra. And pressing back for child's pose. Taking a minute here to reconnect. Another really neat tidbit that I'll share with you since we're sitting here. This forehead skin that's right in between your eyes. When you place your head on the floor or on your forearm, if you press that skin towards your nose, it relieves stress. And you'll see little kids doing that naturally, like 5 years old and under. They'll put their heads right on their arms and press that space. It's like a natural instinct. We lose it as we get older, but now you can do it on purpose. And pressing those toes into the mat, lifting your hips up into downward dog, pedaling the feet a few times. And then stepping forward, rolling up. And we're ready for our sun salutations. Let me get a sip of water. All right. So we'll do 2 modified and 4 or 5 full. We'll see how we feel, how time is going. It's all good. You ready? Okay. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling, folding, hinging from the hips, stepping back with the right leg onto the knee. Coming into a low lunge, pressing forward, stretching out that hip flexor. Hands come down, left leg comes around, sinking back into child's pose. Pulling forward for plank, lowering crocodile, dropping the belly and lifting the chest, and pressing back into child's pose. Right leg comes forward. Arms come up if it feels good. Pressing forward for that hip flexor. Hands come down, feet together. In a forward fold, keep a soft bend in the knees, reverse the swan dive, and come into chair. Again, sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the right onto the knee. Hands come down, left leg comes around, sinking back. Pulling forward for plank, lowering crocodile, dropping the belly, lifting the chest, and pressing back. Right leg comes forward. Arms come up if it feels good. Low lunge. Hands come to the mat, feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. Again, sweeping the arms up, folding, hinging from the hips, stepping back with the left. Low lunge. My hands were hitting the wall. Had to move my mat. Right leg comes around, sinking back into child's pose. Pulling forward for plank, lowering crocodile, dropping the belly, lifting the chest, and pressing back. Left leg comes forward. Pressing forward, stretch out that hip flexor. I love this stretch. Hands come down, feet together. Reverse the swan dive and chair. Sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the left onto the knee. Arms come up. Hands come down, right leg comes around. Sinking into child's pose. Pulling forward for plank. Lowering crocodile, dropping the belly, lifting the chest, and pressing back. Left leg comes forward. Low lunge. Hands come down, feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair, moving into full posture, sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the right into a high lunge. Hands come to the mat. Left leg comes back. We're in downward dog. Floating forward for plank. Lowering crocodile. Flipping the toes for upward dog. Hinging back for downward dog. Right leg comes forward. High lunge. Hands come to the mat. Feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. Sweeping the arms up. Folding, hinging from the hips. Stepping back with the right. Always the option to stay in downward dog or child's pose anytime. Hands come down. Left leg comes back. We're in downward dog. Floating forward for plank. Lowering crocodile. Flipping the toes for upward dog. Flipping back. Press up for downward dog. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat. Feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. Sweeping up. Folding. Stepping back with the right. High lunge. Hands come down. Left leg comes back. Downward dog. Floating forward for plank. Lowering crocodile. Flipping the toes for upward dog. Flipping back and press up for downward dog. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat. Feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. One more on this side. Sweeping up. Folding. Stepping back with the right. Hands come down. Left leg comes back. Pulling forward for plank. Lowering crocodile. Flipping the toes for upward dog. Pressing back for downward dog. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat. Feet together. Reverse the swan dive. And chair. Switching sides. Sweeping up. Folding. Stepping back with the left. I'm going a little bit slower today. I don't know if you noticed. Megan noticed. Hands come down. Right leg comes back. I'm giving you an opportunity to breathe in each pose and feel the pose. Pulling forward for plank. Lowering crocodile. Flipping the toes for upward dog. Pressing back for downward dog. Left leg comes forward. Gives your body an opportunity to experience different sensations. Hands come down, feet together, reverse the swan dive, and chair. Again, sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the left. Hands come down, right leg comes back, downward dog. Floating forward for plank, lowering crocodile. Flipping the toes for upward dog. And pressing back for downward dog. Left leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse the swan dive, and chair. Again, sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the left, thinking about every movement that your body's making and every breath that you're taking. Hands to the mat, right leg back. Pulling forward, lowering, flipping the toes, and pressing up. Left leg forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse the swan dive, and chair. One more time. Back with the left. Hands come down. Right leg comes back. Floating forward, lowering, flipping the toes, pressing back. Left leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse the swan dive, and chair. And relax. Grab some water. So even slower, still a great workout. Still sweating, but different feeling for your body. I love to play with how poses feel differently when you do them for longer, hold them longer, flow through them quicker. It's amazing. All right. We are going to be doing some poses that we're going to hold, and it's going to be a lot on your shoulders. So if you can hang with us, that's great. And if you need to drop into child's pose at any time, go ahead and do that, and then join us when you're ready again, okay? This next sequence is pretty heavy on the shoulders. Ready? Yeah. Inhale up, exhale, folding, planting the hands on the mat, stepping back into a downward dog. We're going to be here a little while, so you want to get a nice downward dog. Pressing those hips up, bringing your ears between your shoulders. And breathing. Your heels might be on the floor, they might not, that's okay. Mine are not quite on the floor. And drop your knees. Come into child's pose. Arms extended out, thumbs up. Pulling those shoulder blades apart, maybe resting your forehead on the mat to press that skin towards your nose. And placing your hands back on the mat, flipping your toes behind you, coming back into downward dog. Get your nice position again. And then when you're ready, lift the left leg. Breathing. Bringing that left leg down, dropping the knees, coming back into child's pose. Arms extended out, thumbs up, or if you need a little relief on your shoulders, bring your hands back by your feet. And again, press into that forehead, pressing the skin towards the nose. Nice relaxation technique. Triggers restoration in your body. Such a small space can do so much. And bringing those hands back out in front of you, flipping the toes again, finding your nice downward dog. Taking a breath to prepare, lifting that right leg behind you. Bringing that right leg back down, dropping to your knees, coming into child's pose, arms extended out or hands by your feet. Resting on that forehead, pressing that skin towards the nose. Coming up onto your knees. We're going to come into camel. So coming all the way up. Oh, you were all the way back there. I was in the zone. I didn't even notice. All right, so for camel, we'll do modified first, and then if you feel ready to go into the full pose, you can. So you want to support your back. Knees are hip distance apart, and you want to roll the shoulders back and just lean back. This is modified camel right here. If it feels good, reach down and grab those heels. Making sure you can still breathe and talk while you're in this position. So go ahead and say hello to me. Hello. Making sure you can do that and it's not a strain. Hi, Megan. Hey, everyone out there. You don't want to hyperextend your neck here. And then placing your hands back on your lower back, supporting yourself up and coming back into child's pose. Reconnecting here, breathing deeply, feeling that shoulder release. Now we're going to clasp our hands together. Come on up. Sorry. Clasp your hands together in front of you and place them on the mat. We're going to come into dolphin, and we're going to be holding and flowing a dolphin and a swimming dolphin plank. So we're clasping our hands together on the mat in front of us. Flip your toes behind you. You're going to come up like you're in downward dog, but since your hands are clasped like this and we're on forearms, it's dolphin. So this is dolphin. I'm going to hold here for a minute. Nice inversion. Opening shoulder blades and letting the blood flow to your brain. And then come down into a plank. I might need to shift a little bit. Engaging all those core muscles. Pressing back up for dolphin. And flowing forward for plank. Option to drop to your knees if you need to. And relax, coming back into child's pose, arms behind you. Coming up, we're going to come into our balance poses. I love balance poses. So Thursday night, I taught a balance workshop in my home studio and online, and it was awesome. So if you're interested in something like that, reach out to me and give me a message, and I'll set up another one. We had 3 people and plus me, so that was 4. And it was just so much fun. We did an hour of all the different balance poses, modifications for them, what muscle groups they use, and how to learn how to do them. And it was really fun. We're going to do one of those new poses today. Megan's a little worried about it, but I'm going to help her, and I'm going to help you too. So don't worry. So the first one is eagle. We'll start with the legs, then we'll add the arms. I will give options in case it's a little challenging for you or you've never done it before, because this is a challenging balance pose. Okay, so legs, we're going to start with the right leg. You're going to bring it across the left and hook those toes behind your leg if you can. Okay, that's the leg position. Now I'm going to show you the arm position, then we'll put it together. Right arm over the left, twist it around. Your insides of your hands are together, and then you press down. That opens those shoulder blades again, like I was saying, okay? We do these both together, and then we come into a little squat, like a perched eagle. Now, if you can't do the legs, here are some options. You can just take that right leg and cross it. It doesn't have to wrap around, or stay in chair and just do arms. That's perfectly fine. If this is challenging for you and you still want to get those shoulder blades open, take your right arm across your chest and pull, not on the elbow joint, up here. Same stretch, okay? You're just not twisting your arms up. All right, you ready? Okay, right leg, right arm, and come down. You can always do this on a wall with your tailbone right up against the wall. And I'm struggling today. And relax. That was a little wobbly today. Yeah, it became my relax. All right, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, if you're wobbly like I am today, maybe put your tailbone right up against the wall and do it there. Let's see how the left side goes. Left leg, left arm, and come down. And relax. That side was better for me. You may also notice that one leg you can wrap the toe around and the other leg you can't quite get there. That's pretty normal. Flexibility on both sides of the body is rarely the same, so that's okay. All right, the next one is called a standing split. I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like, and then I'm going to actually do it on the wall so I can get deeper into it, because I can't do it fully on the mat yet myself. I've just started this one. I'm going to show Megan what to do, and then I'm going to guess she's going to go to the wall too, because she's never done it. So if you have a wall space, or you want to clear one real quick, go ahead and do that. Let me show you what it's about though, okay? So you put your right leg in front of you, bring your hands down to the mat, left leg comes up behind you, as high as you can, okay? Now clearly I'm not in a full split. This is as high as I go. Walk your hands back to your leg, grab your ankle, and pull your face towards your knee. Now that was actually really good. I did a great job. But I can get deeper into my split and a bigger hamstring stretch if I put my hip on the wall. So that's what I'm going to do. But first I'm going to help Megan into this. So go ahead and stand against the wall, Megan. 1 foot forward, bring your hands down to the floor. Bring the other leg up. Now walk your hands back. I think you should switch your legs. Okay? Keep your standing leg the one against the wall. Go ahead. It'll give you a better base. Good. Now walk your hands back. Hold on to that ankle. Use the wall. There you go. Look at her. She's awesome. I'm going to do the same thing right over here. A nice inversion, a nice hamstring stretch. And relax. You guys can play with this one at home a little bit, okay? We're going to switch places so we can use the wall and have our standing leg against the wall. We just figured that part out. All right. So go ahead. I'll help you first just in case. Go on down. You might be able to do it now that you know what you're doing. She saw this on my board today. I need to switch over. Go ahead. Yep. See if you can pull your face closer to your leg. There you go. Also, when you're up against the wall, you can hold it for longer than if you're balancing solely, but if you can, that's great. I'm just not there yet, and that's okay. And relax. Awesome. Now you know a new balance pose. Now you know a new balance pose. Very cool. All right, so we are going to come into a wide leg forward bend. So let's open the legs wide. Take a deep breath to prepare. Bringing the hands up and then out to the side, hinging from the hips, coming forward. Bringing the hands to the center first. Feeling that nice stretch. And then if it feels good, go ahead and grab your ankles. Pull yourself closer to your legs. Bringing those hands back to center. Making sure your knees have a soft bend in them. And then slowly rolling up the spine. Bring your feet together. We're going to come into a hand to foot forward bend. I'm going to stand sideways for this so you could see. I am going to place my foot on the palm of my hand. So we're going to inhale up. Exhale, folding. When your hands get to the mat, and you can bend your knees to get them there, that's fine. Lift your feet. Place your hands under your feet. Now you've got a slight bend in your knees or maybe a big bend. It's fine. Press the hips up and pull your hands up on your feet. Feel those shoulder blades opening up behind you. And breathe. And release your hands from your feet. Reverse your swan dive. And we're going to come down to the mat, seated, legs extended out. We're going to come into a forward fold. So get on your sits bones. Start nice and tall. Pretending there's a string on the top of your head and it's pulling you up so your spine is nice and straight. Just breathing here for a moment in staff pose. Feeling the length in your spine. And then hinging forward, reaching for your toes. Using a strap if you have one and need one. Dropping the head, rounding the spine over your legs. Feeling that nice stretch from the back of your legs all the way up through your spine to your head. Slowly rolling up. Now we're going to come into plow pose. So I will demonstrate this first so you can see how it works, and then you can try it. When you are in plow pose, please do not turn to look at me on your screen. Okay, that's very bad for your neck. So once you get into plow pose, you want to keep your spine and your neck in neutral position, okay? So what you're going to do is roll back into a shoulder stand and then bring your feet over top. They don't have to touch the floor. If they do, that's great. If they don't, that's okay. Go ahead and roll into plow pose. Making sure you're breathing, not looking at me or Megan. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, support your lower back, controlled movement, slowly come down. How'd you get down so fast? She didn't control the movement. That's okay. All right, and for a final relaxation, we are going to put legs up the wall. And I'm going to do this because I need it. So I'm going to slide my mat closer to the wall. It's fine. So the best way to get legs up the wall is to sit sideways with your hip against the wall. Lie down and then rotate. And this way you're not doing the shimmy to get close enough. Yes, it's a good idea. If you don't have a wall space, that's okay. You can put your legs up on a chair or a couch while you're lying in front of it. Or you can just lie in traditional Shavasana position. Alternative option for legs up the wall is cobbler's pose on the wall. Whatever feels good for you. Breathing life energy into your body. feeling that breath fill you up. Feeling so good about what you did today. Maybe you learned something new. I tried to give a lot of tidbits today. Maybe you like holding poses a little bit longer. Maybe you don't. Maybe you like flowing. It's okay. Just feeling whatever you feel and letting those feelings pass through your body without judgment. Realize that happiness lies within you. Waste no time and effort searching for peace and contentment and joy in the world outside. Remember that there is no happiness in having or in getting, but only in giving. Reach out, share, smile, hug. Happiness is a perfume you cannot pour on others without getting a few drops on yourself. Feeling that joy and contentment we just created in our bodies over the last hour, and preparing now to go share it with anyone we come in contact with. Bringing awareness back to your room, opening your eyes. If you are legs up the wall, you want to shift your legs down, roll to your side and come on up. If you are just lying down, then roll and come to a seated position. We'll inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. And hopefully I will see you next week at South River Rehabilitation and Performance in Stewart's Draft, free for members, $5 for non-members. If you have any questions about that class at 9 o'clock on Saturday, let me know. It is the 4th of July. The gym is closed, but I will be hosting a freedom flow with gratitude. So I'll open up for just that hour. So please come and join us. If you don't know where it is, give me a call or send me a message, and I hope to see you there. Thanks. Bye. It's always nice when the